Welcome to eTeacher Plus for Pakistan. eTeacher Plus for Pakistan is a program that provides professional development opportunities to English language teachers and English language learners across Pakistan. These opportunities are provided through global online courses, massive open online courses, webinar series, and then engaging the alumni into lots of alumni engagement activities. The program is fully funded by the Regional English Language Office at the US Embassy Islamabad. In Pakistan, it is implemented by Evolution. Under the eTeacher Plus for Pakistan, we have launched eTeacher Pakistan webinar series, which provides our alumni an opportunity to share their learned knowledge and resources from the online courses with the wider audience. Today, as a part of eTeacher Pakistan webinar series 1.6, we will be talking about teaching English language in a multilingual context of Balochistan, challenges and strategies. To present on this topic, we have with us today Shumaila Rashid. Shumaila Rashid is an eTeacher alumna. She is currently working as a secondary school English language teacher in a public sector educational institute in Quetta. Shumaila holds an MPhil in English Literature and Linguistics from University of Balochistan, and she has over 10 international publications in UK, USA, Australia, Canada, and Tunisia. Her journey with Relo Pakistan started in 2017 when she got selected to attend massive open online course camp in Islamabad, which was facilitated by Ball State University, Indiana. Apart from that, Shumaila has actively participated in a number of online courses, including MOOCs and GOCs, both as a participant and a facilitator. So today, Shumaila is going to share with you her research that she has conducted in Balochistan with a group of English language teachers to explore the challenges that they face in teaching English language to multilingual students, and what are some of the strategies that English language teachers can use to overcome the challenges that they face. So I'm going to welcome Shumaila to officially start her presentation for the webinar.
Thank you, Relo and Evolution, for the honors. I welcome you all to the webinar. Well, before I move on to the topic, I would like to share some of the important information about Balochistan with you all. Balochistan is one of the 5 provinces of Pakistan, consisting of 44% of Pakistan's total land. At the same time, it is the least populated province. Here, people belong to multiple lingual and ethnic backgrounds, such as Balochi, Barawi, Sindhi, Saraiki, Urdu, Pashto, Punjabi, and so on. The literacy rate in Balochistan is very low due to poverty and unawareness. Balochistan stands at last with only 43% literacy rate overall, and there are some other reasons according to Education Support Program report, which contribute to the backwardness of this area, such as shortage of funds, lack of distinct education plan, province doesn't have enough girls' schools, there are severe shortage of female teachers, which also contributes to the backwardness of this province. Well, I would now like to drag your attention towards the female education in Balochistan. In 1973, National Assembly of Pakistan passed a constitution, and according to that, all the Pakistani citizens, they have equal rights, including that of education. And it recognizes education as one of the basic rights of a civilian. However, in Balochistan, the situation is comparatively different. The literacy rate among females in Balochistan is comparatively low due to socio-cultural values of the district. Apart from being ignorance and poverty, there are a number of traditional barriers and cultural restrictions that stop women from being educated. According to Pakistan Bureau of Curriculum Statistics, the Dera Bukti, which is one of the district here in Balochistan, it has only 9% of gross enrollment in matric, and district Barkhan, which is another district here in Balochistan, it has only 2% females have shown the widest gender disparity at metric level. Well, the topic, teaching English language in a multilingual context of Balochistan, challenges and strategies. Um, why I felt like doing research on this particular topic, because teaching English language in a multilingual context of Balochistan is an enormous challenge for English language teachers due to language diversity in the region. My study is directly linked to the challenges faced by the female English language teachers, and at the same time, it suggests solutions to overcome such challenges. Okay, now I would like to share something with you about the methodology. The qualitative research design was employed, and an interview protocol and observational checklist were developed for data collection. Now, I would like to share that what I did while doing the sampling. So, purposive sampling means to select the participants intentionally. I selected the participants intentionally, and there were 10 secondary school English language teachers who were selected from some of the major public institutions of Quetta, Balochistan. Okay, now I would like to share something with you all about the instrumentation. As I told before, that it was an interview protocol and an observational checklist. So an interview protocol consisting 13 questions, which had 6 introductory and 7 probing questions, was developed. I would show you the questions of the interview protocol as well in the coming slides. And then there was an observational checklist consisting 8 items, and 1 comment bar was developed. Okay, as now you can see on your screens the interview protocols, and I'm going to share all the questions with you one by one. Like, I included the question like, what is the mother tongue? I asked these questions from the teachers. So it had questions like, what is your mother tongue? Because all the teachers which I selected, they were English teachers, but they belonged to different lingual backgrounds. Some were Baloch, some were Pashto, some were Brahvi, Punjabi, and some were Urdu speaking. So they all had different lingual backgrounds. Then I included the question, how did you learn English language? As we all know, it is not our first language, and students and the teachers coming to government schools, it's not like all the time, it's not like that they are from private schools. I'm particularly talking about the teacher. So I included this question in order to know that how did they learn English language. The next question, please tell me how long have you been teaching English? All the teachers, they were quite experienced. Some of them were teaching for 30 years, some of them were teaching for 7 years, some of them were teaching for 11 years, so they were all experienced. Then I asked about their qualification, which grade do you teach? Question number 6 was, what is the strength of your class? Now it is another issue over here, like students, the classrooms are very congested. There are lots and lots of students in the class and classroom, and sometimes there are more than 80 students in the classroom. So it was very important questions, because then you cannot pay attention to all the students individually, and you cannot tackle the challenges while teaching in the multilingual classroom. So this was very important question. Okay, next question was, what is the mother tongue of your students? And of course, in response, the teacher reported that all the students, they belong to different lingual backgrounds. Then there was a question like, what is the language of instructions in your class? Either teachers are teaching in English language when they're taking English class, or are they speaking other languages as well? Like, are they using Urdu, which is the national language of Pakistan, or are they compelled to use in their mother tongues? Well, it has been reported that in interior Balochistan, there are students who cannot even understand the Urdu language. So teachers, they are compelled to translate anything like which they are teaching for them in their mother tongue. Okay, and the next question was, how do you teach English language? Like, what method they're adopting? Either and what kind of resources they're using in the classroom? Next question was, what is the level of students' understanding when the instructions are given in English language only? It was also a very important question because students, they hardly understand the instructions given if they're given in English language only. My next question was, what problems do you face in English as an English language teachers? And my last questions, please suggest the strategies you employ to overcome these challenges. Well, these two questions were really important to acquire the data which I wanted from this study. Before going for the full-fledged study, there should be some considerations which we go through. Like I did the pilot study, I selected in order to know whether I would be able to implement it or to go through it smoothly or not. So I did a pilot study as well. I selected 3 individuals from the target population for the pilot study, and after pilot study, few questions were rephrased and they were incomprehensible, means teachers, they were not able to understand it. Like every language has its own terminology, so they were not able to understand it. So I changed or rephrased the questions according to their understanding level. This was the procedure which I followed throughout the study. There are some ethical considerations before going to conduct a study. So I took the permission through a permission letter from the head of the institution, and the willing participants were provided with a consent form and brief knowledge about the study. Each participant's teaching practice was observed in their classes for 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on their class duration. Each participant was interviewed in English for about half an hour, and the interviews were recorded in a recording device. Well, the method of analysis chosen for the study was qualitative approach of thematic analysis. So what I did, I recorded the interviews. They were then I transcribed them, then I coded them for themes and sub-themes. So this is called thematic analysis. Now, my first research question was, I would like to drag your attention towards my first question, which was, what are the challenges faced by the English language teachers in the multilingual classroom? And in response to these questions, the teachers reported that these are the themes which emerged from the data collection of my first research question, which was multilingual classroom. So these are the issues and these are the challenges which you can see on your screens now. So there were issues like students, they were from different lingual backgrounds and they were speaking different languages. At least in one class, there were 12 to 14 different lingual background students who were speaking who were communicating with the other students in their mother tongue. They were not speaking even the Urdu, which is the national language of Pakistan, but they were communicating with each other in their mother tongues, which were Balochi, Barawi, Pashto, Saraiki, Sindhi, Urdu, Persian, Hazargi, Punjabi, Dari, and so many others. Then the second theme which emerged from the data collection, that was medium of communication. Students, they were not able to understand the instructions. If the instructions were given in English language only, teachers were compelled to instruct the students in Urdu. They were continuously switching from one language to another, from the second language to the first language, from the first language to the second language. So they were code switching it for the students. And even students, they were also following the same strategy. The third theme emerged from the data analysis, that was weak linguistic background of the students. According to the respondents, means the teachers which I selected for the studies, they reported that students are weak in English and they have no proper exposure towards English language, means from the family side as well, like their families were also not speaking English language at home, so it was also another challenge. Okay, another theme, the fourth theme, which emerged from the data collection, that was lengthy syllabus that was found quite lengthy. They were not able to finish it in time, so they were just skipping the things, which was figured out during this research, that they were just skipping out the things and they're not completing it. So that was also one of the reasons of not completing the subject, and students were not even able to understand the thing. Okay, and last theme which emerged from the data analysis of my first research question, that what are the challenges of a multilingual classroom. So most of the teachers, they reported that students, they feel anxiety, they feel hesitant to speak English language. They think that people would laugh at them, their class fellows would laugh at them, or maybe the teacher would punish them. So there are some negative thoughts in their minds. They have fear of failure, that if they would speak wrong, people would start making fun of them. So it was also one of the reasons that students, they were not communicating with each other in English language. Well, my second research question was, what are the strategies used by the English language teachers to overcome the challenges of a multilingual classroom? So teachers suggested some of the very important strategies, how the challenges of a multilingual classrooms can be tackled. So the first thing they suggested, like most of the teachers, almost 9 out of 10 teachers suggested that there should be teacher trainings, refresher courses should be designed for the English language teachers, and workshops should be conducted. Okay, the second theme which emerged from the data analysis of my second research question, that was syllabus was quite lengthy, and syllabus should be designed according to the needs of the students. There was another theme which says that there should be some efforts from the grassroots level, like students should be familiar with English language from KG class, like preschool teachers should talk to their students in English language. That can be seen in private schools, but this thing cannot be observed in government schools. So this is particularly about government schools, that there should be some efforts from the grassroots level. Well, the fourth theme which emerged from the data analysis of my second research question is suggested that examination system should be changed and the paper pattern should be changed, and teachers suggested that paper should be objective type, because they found that such type of papers, they're really interesting, easy to solve, and it takes less time as compared to the one you're writing. So they suggested this. And the final theme which emerged from the data analysis of my second research question, that was rewards. There should be rewards for the students in order to encourage them. Like, if you want to motivate them to speak English language and to communicate with them in English language, so there should be some rewards for the students. It's not like that you are going to get some expensive presents for them while you're not having resources, but you can make some badges. You can as you can see on your pictures what I'm sharing right now, I've given you some of the ideas. You can make small badges of these, and you can paste them on their shirts like a badge, and similarly, you can give some good remarks on their notebooks or their diaries. You can call their parents to tell them that their child is really doing good. So all these things really encourage the students. Okay, and I'm going to share the summary of my research with you all here. The participants' views and the observations of the classroom suggest that it is quite challenging for the teachers to teach English language in a multilingual context, because the students, they have no background in English language. The respondents believe that code switching is useful and provides continuity in speech when it is effectively used. And it helps the teachers and the students both with social interaction and communication. Now, this is very important thing which I'm going to share right now. This is the significance of my study. The findings of the research could be beneficial for English foreign language teachers to adopt their teaching method according to the need of time. So it can help the teachers so they can change their methodology in order to eliminate the challenges they are facing in their multilingual classrooms. And similarly, the findings of this research can also educate students regarding language learning techniques or strategies. The study may convince to Higher Education Commission and government to allocate special funds for establishing language labs and professional development trainings for the English language teachers teaching in a multilingual situation. And the fourth thing is, which is also very important, that syllabus of English may be redesigned according to the needs and the desires of the learners. Like every study, this study has also limitations. Like I selected sample of female English language teachers only. Now, why I selected the female English language teachers only? Due to cultural barriers here in the province. Because I cannot move freely to any male school, or I cannot go on my own to any male school to take the interviews. So I selected the female schools only. And the classroom of each teacher participant observed just once. But in future, definitely you can observe, if you want to take more accurate results and more authentic results, the class of each participant could be observed more than one time, or maybe twice or thrice, or maybe for a whole week. And the third limitation of my study was students, they were not directly involved in the study. Now, these are some of the recommendations which can be helpful for the ones who want to do research on this particular topic. So, sample of male participants, or the sample consists of both male and female participants, could be taken in future. Sample of school and college students could be taken, like I took the sample from the schools only. So in future, sample of school and college students could also be taken, right? So even you can choose university students as well. And each classroom could be observed at least for a week to obtain more accurate results. Well, that is all for today. Thank you very much for joining. I'm so thankful to Relo and Evolution for giving me this opportunity and giving me this platform where I shared the problems of my province being English language teachers with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shumaila, for sharing your research findings and strategies with us. We are very much pleased to know that you took an initiative to conduct this research to help the others in the community who are facing similar problems of teaching multilingual classrooms. To the audience, I hope you learned some strategies that you can use in your own classrooms. If you have comments, questions, or suggestions, please feel free to write us on eteacher@evolution.com.pk. Happy teaching and happy learning.